Ovo niti jedan medij u Hrvatskoj nije prenio da je sudac koji je sudio Natanjahov slučaj korupcije, znači Natanjahu treba biti osuđen u Izraelu. Prije 3 dana, niti jedan jedini medij u Hrvatskoj to nije prenio.
It appears that the judge that was presiding over Benjamin Netanyahu's case in Israel is now dead.
Zanimljivo, jel?
Imagine that. Is now dead.
Ko
Wait till
Epstein.
you see what happened to him, because we've seen this before.
Strašno.
Let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll remove this banner for just a second.
Pogledajte na šta su oni spremni, ljudi moji. Ovo nisu teorije.
Beersheba District Court
Ovo je
President
urota.
Beni Saji killed in a shocking crash on Route 6.
I poruka,
So
razumijete?
again, if you're just joining, this is the judge that was presiding over
Strašno.
Benjamin Netanyahu's case. So you guys got to remember, Benjamin Netanyahu does have a case in Israel. He's facing trial there. President Herzog, Supreme Court Chief Justice Minister, lament untimely death of judge who was beloved by all, extraordinarily talented, and a wonderful family man.
Pogledajte, ubili
This
su ga.
is Judge Beni Sagi, and
Užas.
he's now dead. And wait till you hear what happened to him. This is interesting. The president of the Beersheba District Court, Judge Beni Saji, was killed on Sunday after a vehicle crashed into his motorcycle while he was traveling on Route 6. Now, this is not unusual with Israel. We have seen multiple cases like this before. Some of them I discussed on this show. Remember the 3 Qatari men that were on their way to that event in the Middle East that Donald Trump was headed to as well? Remember, they died in a car crash, so they didn't make it there. Serena Shem, the award that I just won, Serena Shem was killed in a car accident. There was another segment that I had on the show of a number of scientists that mysteriously died in car accidents, right? Like ones that were from Egypt and from countries like Iran as well. And people always ask, like, how much of this is a coincidence? And what I'm starting to question is it possible that the government could some way, or intelligence can some way, get a hold of your vehicle and can change the way that your vehicle moves or functions or operates? Because it's just too many of these incidents that I have seen where people are dying in these car crashes, and the timing seems to be convenient, of course, for Israel, and of course for Benjamin Netanyahu. According to the police, a vehicle that was driving off-road came up onto the highway and hit Saji's motorbike. So we have a car that is driving off-road that comes up onto the highway and hits him while he's on his motorcycle. Yeah, that doesn't sound like an accident to me.
No.
That sounds like a hit. How do you just drive the car off-road onto a highway and you run into a motorcycle? So let's continue on here. Megan David Autumn said medics and paramedics who arrived at the scene described the accident as shocking. They said they found Saji laying on the road with multiple injuries and no vital signs, and declared him dead at the scene. Yeah, sounds like a hit. FM said, why was he riding a motorcycle? Apparently that was something that he was really into. Like, he liked motorbikes and all that type of stuff. You know? Myra said it doesn't sound like a oopsie to me. Yeah, it's like I said, there's a history of this happening. Police have opened an investigation into the accident, which took place close to the Kafr Menachem kibbutz east of Ashdod, while police officers from the Malachi station and road accident investigators examining the circumstances of the crash. Saji was appointed acting president of the Beersheba District Court in June 2024 and took up the position of on a permanent basis in April of 2025. That's the accident right there.
Užas.
So as you can see, here's the bike. Yeah, there's no way he was going to survive that.
Užas.
President Isaac Herzog said he was shocked and pained by the tragic death of Saji, whom he described as a much-loved figure. Judge Saji was a brilliant and sharp jurist, a wonderful judge who combined great professional knowledge and extraordinary honesty. So let's talk about something here, and then I'll get to that case in just a second. So the judge who was presiding over Benjamin Netanyahu's case is now dead. Now, that doesn't stop the case. And one thing I think that we all have to remember, Donald Trump was calling for the pardoning of Benjamin Netanyahu. Shouldn't he be pardoned, he said. And the judge refused to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu. So that's something that people have to remember. He said no, he's going through this trial. Now, what is this case around Benjamin Netanyahu? I want to show you something here. Prosecution presses Netanyahu on Nir Hafet's ties as cross-examination in case 4000 intensifies. So let's go ahead and get into this here. Again, we've talked about Benjamin Netanyahu with the genocide. We've talked about him with the Greater Israel Plan. But let's not forget, he has a case against him in Israel that involves corruption. So he really has been trying to continue these wars so that he doesn't go to jail. That's what I've been saying for quite some time. Let's go down here. Tensions flared Monday in Tel Aviv District Court as prosecutors pressed Benjamin Netanyahu on inconsistencies in his account of his relationship with former aide and state witness Nir Hafetz. This was during a key phase of cross-examination in case 4000. Also known as the Bizak-Walla affair, case 4000 centers on allegations that Netanyahu granted regulatory benefits worth hundreds of millions of shekels to Bizak's controlling shareholder, Shaul Elovitch, while serving as a communications minister in exchange for favorable and interventionist coverage of himself and his family on Walla News website, which Elovitch then owned. So we're talking about, again, corruption, mismanagement
I to vi uzdižete, to su vama sveti ljudi, Trump i Satanjahue, kriminalci kakvih nema.
While Netanyahu denies the existence of any such deal, arguing that regulatory decisions were professional and lawful, and that media coverage was neither controlled nor consistently favorable. The trial has been ongoing since 2020. After months of direct examination by his defense team, prosecutors are currently conducting cross-examination, seeking to challenge his credibility and the coherence of his version of events. So we all know that Benjamin Netanyahu tells a lot of lies. So obviously he's not going to say, yes, I took bribes, and yes, I mishandled funds. Of course not. And all this time, I mean, this started in 2020. All this time, I feel like he has just been bombing Lebanon, bombing all these other places, not just because of the Greater Israel Plan, but if you notice, they kind of ramped this up a little bit more. And my thing is, I feel like he's continuing this and he's increasing it because he doesn't want to go to jail. Because as long as there's still war, the people aren't going to vote him out. As we've seen, they're not trying to get rid of him. And as other people have pointed out who have been to Israel, a lot of the Israelis are even to the right of Benjamin Netanyahu. So it's not like they're saying, no, we don't want you to bomb people anymore. That's not the case. And now all of a sudden, the judge that was presiding over this case, dead. And where's the person who hit him? Where's the vehicle that ran into his motorbike?
Ko Charlija Krka, Mossad i CIA, bam, jer je odbio suradnju i novce njihove, bam.
It's not always as obvious as people may think. I mean,
kako će vam Isus Krist, kako će vas satrate,
I believe that intelligence and technology has a way to grab a hold of someone's vehicle and to make it do what it wants it to do.
Može elektronsko.
And some people may see that and they say, well, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, have you paid attention to technology recently? There are whole artificial intelligence videos right now on YouTube where it looks like it's a real person sitting there and it's not. So I wouldn't put it past it, but it's very weird that this guy is now dead.
Da.
I don't think it's going to stop the case. The trial is going to continue, but it makes me wonder, will they now have someone presiding over that case that may be a little bit more lenient towards Netanyahu? Hey guys, this was a savvy